This is literally the point of the love list. Single men don't go up to women anymore. The girl in this article is quoted saying that she thinks she's essentially too pretty and it's too intimidating to men. If you're a guy or a girl and you're too scared to go up to someone else because you potentially may be rejected, are you also like that in your business life? Are you also like that with friends? If you are that scared of rejection, I struggle to think that you will be able to be successful in anything you do in your life, because rejection is always part of the process. Until you switch your mindset, how are you ever going to expect to meet someone? Every time you think of going up to someone, remind yourself that that could be the person. So if you don't go up to them, you'll never know.
Never approach a girl at your job, bro. This is where you make money. This is where you eat from. You don't where you eat. You understand? Unless you're not tired of visiting the HR over harassment cases, keep approaching girls at your job, okay? Let me tell you something. If you keep approaching girls at your job, it's only screaming one thing. You don't have a life outside of that job. You don't have women outside of that job. That's the reason why you see a girl at a job and you don't have self-control. So say, you know what? This is just one girl out of the millions of girls outside there that I could probably get. Why am I bent over heels for this one? Leave her alone, bro. She's not for you. I know, yes, you're attracted to her, but leave her alone. You're there for one thing and one thing alone. Money. Take that and leave. If you're a shy guy and this video resonated with you, follow for more to break those chains.
One thing for sure is he's obsessed with me.
Aww.
He is obsessed with me.
And once again, this woman says men now avoid women at work. Another sign we're being punished for me too. Y'all just won't leave people alone. Y'all have to have men talking to you at all times of the day and the night. A man don't want to talk to you. You said you didn't want a man to approach. You said you wanted a man to leave you alone. Y'all worried about men bothering y'all, and a man says, okay, I won't bother you, and you get mad and say that you're being punished.
It is titled, My 30 Female Coworker, 28 Male, is Ignoring Me After I Said He Should Leave His Wife. How do I make it less awkward?
Okay.
My coworker Sam and I are like two peas in a pod. I've never had a relationship like that. We both like documentaries and books. We constantly send each other documentaries. We always take lunch together and talk about the videos we've sent. Recently, I asked him if his wife watches those videos, and he laughed and says no, and that she jokes and will say he's such a nerd. I said, it doesn't seem like you two have much in common. He got annoyed and asked, am I implying that he doesn't have a connection to his wife? I told him it seems like we have a stronger connection than him and his wife. He told me him and his wife are happy and happily married. I told him it's just strange she doesn't share a major interest of yours. He started ignoring me the rest of lunch. He blocked me from his personal phone, and we only speak at work now. Even then, it's only about work. Even after I apologized, he's still the same way. I want things to go back to normal because the workdays are definitely longer ever since he stopped talking to me. So, am I the asshole?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird. You shouldn't have done that. But of course, modern women believe they have a stake in somebody else's life. Period. It doesn't matter where they are, who they're with. You belong to me if that's what I decide. You need to do these things for me if that's what I decide. You're a loser, man.
I'm exhausted, but I'm good. Thank you. Good.
Bro made a mistake. He should have told her you have a pretty face so she would put a brown bag over her face and come to work. But take it in how the man controls her hairstyle either way. She's doing the opposite for him. He's living in her head rent-free. You can't be complimenting women at work. They're gonna make fake harassment cases because that's all they're good at. Straight to HR. Most of HR is made up of women. You're double screwed then. Gonna get your bumma fired. Man, don't lose your job over threes acting all that. It's not worth it.
You work at a certain place and there's multiple women there that you find attractive and you think about messing with any of them, make sure you be careful with who you mess with. Because as soon as you mess with one of them, and however that situation might end up or go, if it go good, then you mess with somebody else in that same place. Now, the first girl you mess with, her emotions might get involved and feel some type of way, like, oh, like you mess with that. And rumors start going around about you, like whatever. And it might not end well. And also, too, like if you do mess with somebody and it does go bad, like the first time, then that shit gonna ruin it for everybody else in that whole area. Like, a lot of times it's best to just not even mess with a person at your job, especially like if you know you're gonna be seeing that person like 3 to 5 times out of the week. Like, you might well just forget about it. And I know it can be tempting though, because sometimes at certain jobs, bro, you might go, or you might have like very attractive women there, and you'd be like, damn. And then sometimes they might be married, and you might not even know that, because when they get to work, they're not mentioning nothing about that. So it's like, a lot of times messing with somebody at your job, bro, can not end well. And I've always seen it not end well for a lot of people. And if it's going to be like that, just stay away from it in general.
These modern women want to toe the line. You made a good point about women getting up to work and not mentioning that they're married. Yeah, they're doing it on purpose because they want to toe the line. I want to flirt, and I want you to flirt with me, but I don't want to feel like I'm the one who initiated it. I want a little bit of fun. I want a little bit of a razzle dazzle. I want a little bit of a whipped cream and cherry on top when I get to work. I want a little bit of attention and validation that I don't feel like my husband is giving me. I don't feel like my man is giving me. Don't do it. Because as soon as it becomes a problem, as soon as something or whatever it was works itself out, don't even have anything to do with her man at home. It's just, I wanted some validation. As soon as she gets that, HR, he was creepy and weird.
You know how men approach women these days? It's so bad. Do you know how men approach women at bars these days? Oh, you'd think, oh, they're gonna get you a drink? No. Oh, maybe they don't have the money. Are they gonna, like, come up to you and say hi and tell you that they just saw you from across? No. You know what they do? They do this. Okay, imagine I'm, like, 100 to 50 feet away from you. And I'm in a group of, like, men, right? I'm talking to my boys. That's what they do. They literally, like, this is how they hit on you. This is how they hit on me. Bitch, fuck off. What the? They will do this for an hour. They will make eyes at you, practically tuck their little hair behind their little ear for hours. Not once will they approach you. Not once. Not once. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding.
So basically, what she's saying is, she's exaggerating it. What she's saying is that the men that she wanted to come over and talk to her didn't approach. And basically, she's trying to say that they're, in other words, gay. In other words, they're acting like women by not coming over and approaching. That's really what she's saying. She's trying to say it funny. She's trying to be humorous about it. But it's just another way to call men gay.
Where I work predominantly with men. There's literally not even maybe. There are 2 other women that work on the shift that I work on. And there was this one guy. He would always try to speak to me. And mind you, I'm not anyway attracted to this man. Didn't want to have any type of interaction with this man. Didn't care for it. And not because I didn't know him or I thought he was a bad guy. It's just didn't want to. I just didn't want to interact with him. Simple. But every day, he'd say, hey, Miss Taylor. Ignore him. Hey, Miss Taylor. Ignore him. Even in we have a smoking area that we have at the job. And every now and again, we'd find ourselves both out there smoking a cigarette. And I wouldn't interact with him. And he'd say stuff like, how you doing? Ignore him. I would not say a word. Wouldn't even look in his direction. Completely ignoring him. And then once he recognized that I wasn't going to say anything to him, he'd say stuff like, I ain't going to act like I ain't see you. I'm acting like I didn't see you. That's what I'm thinking. Never said nothing, but I'm thinking these things. And this goes on for weeks. At least 3 weeks to a month. All right? And then one day, he tries to come up and talk to me. Under the guise of, because I'm a team lead. So under the guise of he needed to ask a question. And I'm already kind of knowing how homie moving, like real weird, really, really weird, like this guy's moving this way. And I ignore him, like I've been doing. right? And then he yells at the top of his lungs, Tyler! Tyler! At the top of his lungs, bro. And we're in a warehouse, so it's not like a crazy thing because he's loud as shit. But the fact that he did this is very weird to me. Extremely weird to me. Right? And I continue to ignore him. Even after he screamed my name at the top of his lungs, I ignored him. And this day when he did this, he came up to my desk and has a nerve to say this to me. You being a team lead, you need to learn how to interact with people. People? And proceeds to go off on me. And all I do is this. Man, you being weird right now. Go ahead on, man. Being weird. And he gets more irritated the more I say, you being a weirdo, man, get away. And I'm doing this. I'm doing the shoot method at this. I'm shooting mans. And he's getting more irate by the second. I think I had good reason to be ignoring that man. I don't think he was just wanting to be nice. He had some ulterior motives. And I didn't know what they were. Still to this day, don't know what they were. But I know his intention wasn't just to be nice to me. And time told the truth. I literally had to go to my supervisor and be like, hey man, homie just went off on me. Because he tried to speak to me every day, and I just make it clear I don't want to interact with him. And I'm thankful for my supervisor because he spoke with him, and I haven't had that man say anything to me since. Hallelujah. It's good to have good men in the world. And they are still here, guys. There's still good men here.
Woman said all you had to do was speak. Problem averted. Another guy says, you are the problem. One guy says, girl, I hope you're learning from these comments. Girl, I hope you're learning from these comments because what happened was a self-fulfilling prophecy becoming confirmation bias. You're making women look bad. Don't tell this story. Don't tell this story. Don't tell this story no more. Don't tell it anymore. You're making women look bad. Another woman says, I love the part where you told us what he was doing that made him weird because from the sounds of it, he was just being cordial. Y'all worked together for crying out loud. Another person says, thank you for telling your story and letting us all know that you're the whole problem. And that's exactly it. Thank you for telling us that you have a problem. Thank you for telling us that you don't know how to act. Once again, they tell us that modern women, every single time, I can't step out my house without finding a woman that has a good head on her shoulders, without finding a woman that is a 20 out of 10. Yeah, man, these women are beautiful. They're great. They're fantastic. They have social skills. But we're once again looking at one that almost quite literally does not have it. She does not have it. And she got on here with a whole chest out talking about, yeah, look what he did. Only to be shot down by people in the comments saying, nah, you was weird for that. That was weird what you were talking about. And then at the end there, you try to throw him under the bus. Just speak to him. Just be cordial. Why would you tell this story? Oh, because you think that you're right. Stop. Delete it.
I never want to be a couple like this that the guy is literally walking in front of the woman. Look at that. Just trying to keep up and follow him. And it just breaks my heart. Don't be that couple. Don't be that man.
I mean, it looks like okay. She's okay, to be honest with you. Looks like he's looking for something. Looks like she actually doesn't know where she's going. They're trying to figure something out. Maybe she was in front at the start and then she didn't know where she was going. Well, why don't you show me where we're going? That's what that looks like to me. I'm looking. I'm seeing what's going on. And the thing about it to me is there are some women that would want the man to be in front. I want anything that's coming to hit this man. I mean, they're sitting up there talking. She's not even worried about that, to be honest. It's y'all that are worried about what a scumbag he is. It's y'all that are worried about stupid stuff like this. A man, if he's walking this side, why wouldn't he walking in front? If he's walking in front, why would he walking to the right side? If he's walking to the right side, why wasn't he walking in the back? Anything could happen from the front. Why isn't he on all sides of her? Why doesn't he just put her in a bubble? Get a life.
For the second time in 3 weeks, a black man who I am a colleague to has sent me a joke about how soft and nurturing and coddling white women are, and how mean and harsh black women are in relationships. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a white woman, don't participate in that. It's not funny. They're testing to see what you're going to do, what you're going to say. It is absolutely disgusting that they even think that it's okay to send me that. And it's offensive to me that they believe I'm going to laugh at the expense of black women. There's nothing funny about it. There are plenty of things that we can joke about, plenty of people that we can poke fun of. The last people who need to be the center of a joke are black women. And additionally, this is a pattern I've seen over years of black men married to black women who form a friendship with white women, myself, and then start finding a way to put black women down to get into the good graces of me. And that tells me everything I need to know about you as a man, you as a husband, you as your character, and not someone I want to be around, because I work very hard to be a safe space, to know better, do better. And the last thing I'm going to do is get involved in your fury.
So I understand where she's coming from, but I feel like there's a little bit of virtue signaling going on here. I understand that you care deeply about these issues, but I think you kind of destroy your argument when you say, well, send me some jokes about Donald Trump. So it's okay for us to talk about what other people believe in and make jokes about that. People who actually side with Donald Trump, right? And I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just trying to point out to you that what you're saying to me is inconsistent. You say, well, don't talk about women like that. Don't disrespect women like that. Got it. But then when you say this guy doesn't believe what I believe, is what you're saying. Send me jokes about Donald Trump. That tells me y'all have made jokes before about, or like, this tells me it's not random. He's not randomly coming up to you and making a joke. He's not randomly coming up to you and sending these. This is something that's happened before, to where y'all have joked around and y'all have made jokes to where they're off the cuff. And I should say they're probably something that you shouldn't say at work, but you allowed it to happen. And then what you do here is you say, well, I can't fight back because they've got our hands tied, because they know that we need them. They know that we need male access. So I kind of got to let them do it. But this I got to stand up on. I'm going to stand up for women, but I'm not going to stand up for somebody trashing somebody else's ideology, somebody else's belief, whether you feel like it's right or wrong. Somebody votes for Trump and they say, well, I voted for Trump because this is what I believe. And I sincerely feel like X, Y, and Z. Oh, you're an idiot. Trump is an idiot. Da, da, da. So that's fine to do that. But it's not fine to send these types of jokes. I don't like those. What I'm trying to say is, when it's about them, once again, I don't think that he was right for that. But when it's about them and stuff that they don't want to talk about, then all of a sudden it's a problem. I have to take a stand. But when it's about something that they're okay with, that standard goes out the window. And you see that they do this across the board. That's where Chad and Tyrone come from. When Chad and Tyrone do something that, I think a woman in another video said something similar, where she said, we got to start being honest with ourselves. when we're not attracted to a guy, then it's creepy. But when we are attracted to the guy, then it's cute and we love it, and it's endearing. When it's something, a joke that I don't want to hear, then I get up in arms and I'm offended and I stop the whole show if I'm sitting at a comedy show or something like that. But if I find it okay and it's funny to me, then, it's okay. Continue to say jokes like that. Do the things that I want you to do. Show up around me how I want you to show up around me.
Why are we still living in this life where men seem to think it's still okay to take control of women and their finances? I have literally just overheard a conversation in the co-op, of all places to be having this conversation. But she was basically on about how she now feels free, that she's no longer with her partner because he wouldn't allow her to work, wouldn't allow her to do this and wouldn't allow her to do that. Like, where the fuck do these men think they get off with telling women that they can and cannot do? I'm sorry, but no. Does not sit right with me at all.
That is absolutely mental that we are still around men that are living this way, that deem this okay and acceptable, and it's not. Like, if any man who you are in a relationship is telling you that he doesn't want you to go to work because he doesn't want you to go to work, he will not allow you to go to work, then darling, you need to get out, because that is a narcissistic, twisted fuckhead of a man. Like, you need to leave ASAP. Like, why is this even still happening at this day and age? Like, women are very independent. We go out to work just like men go out to work. Yes, I get some men are still living in this world of the men go out to provide, the women stay home and look after the babies. But that's not always the case. Like, there is actually men out there that are literally physically telling the women to stay at home because it's just all about control. It's not about them just being at home, looking after the babies, cooking, cleaning, whatever it is they may think. It is more about control and how they are the dominant one out of the two. Just fucking control freaks. Like, absolutely not. Like, we are in the 21st century now, and I cannot believe this is still going on. And for this woman to have this conversation just in the middle of a corner shop, like, the way she just sounded so relieved that she had, one, got this off her chest, and two, that she is now out of that relationship. So to me, it wasn't a case of she was in a relationship with a guy that was just had very old moral and traditional values. It seemed she was with a man who was a narcissistic pig and just wanted control of that whole relationship.
You guys really do find ways to make yourselves victims, and it's all in the way that you word it, to be honest. Well, he wouldn't let me do it. He wouldn't allow me. He wouldn't say and give me permission. Like, y'all are not grown. Like, y'all have to be in a relationship. Stop doing this. A guy in the comments made a good point. He said it works both ways. I couldn't go out with my mates, and she made sure I couldn't because she'd keep control of my money. But of course, oh, well, maybe she needed to do that. Maybe you're not good with money, and if more women did this, then you'd probably have more men that are financially successful and set up because men are trash and and all that other nonsense. All of it is nonsense. That man wasn't doing anything. That's a partnership that she signed up for. She wanted to be there. Women are allowing, they're submitting to this type of control. If you have a job, you are submitting to this type of control. Period. You work how you work. You signed up to be on the team. So you said, okay, who's going to be the leader of the team? God forbid a man say, why don't you do it? And really mean it. Be genuine. Hey, why don't you be a leader of the team? I think you're very capable of doing it. You have this, you have this, you have this. Guess what the woman's going to say? No, I can do it sometimes, but I like my man to lead. But somehow when a man starts to lead, he starts to do his job, then women like you start to critique him for doing his job. And that's one of the most annoying things, is when a woman starts to critique a man for doing something that he asked her to do. You can sit up here and walk on a trail talking all this nonsense, foolishness. And then when you get back to the house, there's none of that energy. None of it. Because you know how it goes. You know you don't want to put in the work. You know you don't want to be the leader. I don't want to be the person that has all of the issues and the problems and the stress on me. I'd rather give that to you as a man. You do that. That's what I want you to lead in, all of the stress. But I want the easy stuff, the little stuff that you've done all the work and then you just hand it over to me to make the final decision. I'm just a girl. Man, shut up.
And I've been crying all day because I got sat on a plane next to a couple, and the whole time the guy had his hand on like his girlfriend's leg, you know, and it was just kind of like that the whole time. And I can't, like, I've been single my whole life. I'm 25 and I've never gotten to experience that.
What are you waiting for?
I've never gotten like close to that.
Damn.
And it's just too much. Like, it's too much. I can't do it anymore. There are some people out there who they're not interested in a relationship and they want to be by themselves. But like, that's not me, and that's never been me. I have always wanted to be in a relationship, even though I've never been in one. And even though I'm comfortable by myself and I can do things alone, but like at a certain point, it gets like really sad doing things alone. Like, I've traveled alone to so many places because like if I don't go by myself, I'm not gonna go. If I don't do things by myself, it's not gonna happen. But at the same time, like, it's so much fun to be able to like share that with someone else. And like, everyone I know is in a relationship right now, and like the majority of them have been in relationships for like a long time. Like, this is established, and I feel like I've always been alone, and I don't want to be, and I don't understand why this is happening to me. And I don't know, I like can't take it anymore. And clearly this didn't work because I'm still crying and I just wasted like 2 minutes of your time, and I'm sorry. And I hope you're having a better weekend than I am. So
she's only going through all of this because she chooses to. I bet there's a lot of men that's willing to date her and marry her, but she doesn't want them because they don't qualify for her unrealistic standards. This is the problem. They literally do it to themselves and then cry about it on social media. She knows that she can get someone decent. And what I mean by decent is the average man, because she's the average woman. And he'll love her and she could build a family with him. But all of those guys are in her friend zone that's actually ready to date her. But instead, she's looking for the top 20% of men that don't want her. Another important point is relationship skills. A lot of women want to be a wife without having any kind of wife traits. If you're not a wife, no man is going to pick you as a wife. All wives are found early. Make sure that you become wife material. A man is not going to find a woman that doesn't have any wife attributes and marry her. But instead, he'll find a wife and marry her. So a good question for this woman and most women is, are you a wife and do you have relationship skills?
That's a good question.
Somebody in the comments said, good Lord, how about saying yes to one of the guys in the friend zone? A woman here says, the thing is, her heart is speaking. Your mind can be trained to be alone, but humans are social creatures. So we're wired for connection. So you're going to feel alone and it's going to hurt. It has happened to me, but I'm healing now. There's nothing to heal from. There's literally nothing to heal from. You just said it. Most people want to be around other people. Most people want to have some sort of interaction. Even if it's not all day, every day, there needs to be some sort of social interaction somewhere. What modern women have done was sworn off the very thing that you need to be a literal, like you literally need this to be a human. You literally need it. And you're saying, oh, I don't need it. I can see if you had somebody here and there that truly legit didn't need it. But Every woman, every modern woman is saying that they don't need any social connect. Like that. I don't need any connection. I don't need none of that. I don't want it. None of that. Don't talk to me about it. Get away from me. Da 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 da. Blah 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 blah. You're lying. Stop lying. And this is what lying gets you. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. Just talked about a single mother having to, well, she didn't do it. She had to figure out how to do it. She was upset with men because they wouldn't help. Men standing out on the balcony looking from afar. Nope. No, y'all didn't come down and help me. Why would I? You don't belong to me. You're not under my influence. Why would I insert myself into your situation? Men used to be men. Well, whatever you want to say, you can insult me however you want to do it. I'm not coming down there to help you out at all. Y'all said y'all didn't need men. Y'all said y'all didn't want men. And when you see how hard it is, you start to cry. You break down. Oh, I don't know how I can do this anymore. Me neither. I don't know why you thought you could do it in the first place.
Why men don't approach women anymore. It used to be a man would approach a woman, he would get her phone number, would then get a date and then gradually build a relationship with her. You know, maybe he had to go on a few dates before he found someone. There are pretty simple steps to all of it. Now there's unclear signals. She might act disinterested, but she actually is. She may act nice in the moment and then contact her friends or contact somebody else because she doesn't feel safe. He gets shamed for it. He could be filmed and posted on social media. Overall, it's higher stakes and more potential downsides to the point it is not even worth it. She may say ew or put him down when she could literally just politely say no. It's not about, oh, the worst she could say is no. That's so far from the truth. A lot of men don't want to be labeled as creepy or inappropriate. Not only that, but there's endless ghosting nowadays. And women are justified with just about anything that they do. It doesn't matter how disrespectful, how impolite. Oftentimes, the man is blamed no matter what. After all of this, men are often forced to initiate and pay and plan, and it's taken as bare minimum, and all of his efforts in the relationship are considered bare minimum. He knows he won't even get appreciated, and sometimes not even a thank you.
Alright, this is for my girls. One, be nice. Be nice to men, because I've had a restored faith in men that are like actually having the guts to just like come up to women. And if you're mean to them, you're gonna scare them. So don't do that. But I do have a restored faith in men. And I think part of it comes from women being nice, women being open to like just like one, look up from your phone. If you're going for a walk, look up from your phone. Don't have RBF. Actually, that's probably okay. But just like inviting. Like smile at somebody if they walk past. Like don't be freaking creepy, but like smile at them. The amount of people I've met on my walks is insane. Literally a guy just walked past. I walked past him. He then like turned around and he was like, hey, excuse me. And then like asked me about restaurant options around the neighborhood. I'm just like, you can meet people if you're willing to just look up from your phone, give a smile, make eye contact. Like we don't have to look like we don't want to talk to humans. We can look like we want to talk to humans, but like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of girls are like, guys just don't, and I'm like, they will if you're nice. Stop being pissy when they walk up. Stop being annoyed. Stop assuming the worst in every man. Like, don't get off on freaking rejecting them. Be nice. You can say, no, I'm good, thank you. But be nice if you're gonna do it. But like, just look up. Smile. But don't be like annoyed that people, like guys aren't approaching you if you're not being approachable, you know? Anyway, I literally just met a new person while walking. The amount of people, like literally all my friends lately have been because I'm like walking. That's how I meet them. Because I smile, I don't look at my phone the whole time. It's not that hard. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Be nice. Be nice. Women, be nice to men. Because we don't need to scare them off. They're finally getting the guts to talk to people again. Let's not scare them off by rejecting every single one of them and like embarrassing them in the process. Be nice.
Thank you for the accountability. I see down there is something in the parentheses that says, I fear we may be contributing to the problem. And that's really alarming to me because most women don't think that they are the problem. Most women really think that it's just the man. It's just that he's a coward. It's just that he needs to grow some. He needs to grow a pair and just come approach. He needs to get out of his own way. He needs to drop all of the fear and the anxiety and just come approach. When men say, I would work up the courage to do so, but I don't want to end up on TikTok. Oh, that's not a real thing. I would, but I don't want to seem like I'm harassing somebody. Oh, that's not a real thing. I would, but I don't want to seem like, I'm just a bridge troll to you. I don't want to seem like, oh man, why would this ugly guy come and approach me? That's so weird. Leave me alone. I don't want to feel like that. Even if that's the way you feel, I don't want to open up TikTok and see you talking about me in a manner like that. I don't want to come across that. Oh, that's never going to happen to you. Pulls out the phone and starts doing exactly what they said they wouldn't do. That's why men are not approaching. They don't have time for it. Modern women really don't understand. They really don't. And thank you for your accountability in saying this. I appreciate that. But like I said, that thing that you said down there at the bottom in parentheses is what most women don't really understand. They really don't think that they're a problem. They really think it is all just on the man. The man is the only one here that needs to fix himself. We don't have anything that we need to do because we're perfect. There was another clip that I was reacting to recently, I think on this channel, where the woman asked the man, he's like, what's the secret to a healthy, long relationship? And he said, we're always working on me. Me and my woman are always working on me. And they thought that was funny. A woman in the comments agreed. Oh yeah, because I've never met a woman who wasn't working on herself. And I've never met a man who was working on himself. So men are just buffoons is what you're telling me. Y'all don't have nothing to improve on. And modern women feel this way. That's that. I did everything right. I did the eyes, I did the hair flip, and I turned like this and I did that. And I did everything right. He just didn't approach. Men are so scared. They're so gay nowadays. Did you actually tell him, come on over? Well, why is he not coming over? Maybe I need to put in a little bit more effort. That's what y'all tell men to do. If something is not working, put in a little bit more effort. If you give me flowers and I don't respond to the flowers, I want you to see through my body language. I don't like those flowers. Give me some better flowers. Ding, 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 ding. More expensive flowers equals me talking to you again after 2 or 3 days. Ding, 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 ding. Flowers and food from my favorite takeout place equals me talking to you again and giving you respect. You have to do things right because I'm setting a standard. When women do this type of stuff, it's toxic behavior. But once again, they don't see themselves as toxic. So it's news to them that they might be contributing to the problem in relationships and dating.
This is a public service announcement for white men. It is okay to approach a Latina at the bar.
That part, yep.
It is okay to like a Latina. We are equals. We are pretty people. We are also equal to the blondes at the bar.
Even better.
Even better, maybe. I don't wanna. Perhaps.
Don't quote me on it, but
please, it is okay to approach a Latina at the bar.
We will talk to you.
We will talk to you. It is okay. I promise. It is okay. Please approach us. We are all one. We are begging.
We're begging.
We're on our hands and knees. Please approach us.
I'm on my knees.
Like, what the fuck?
Nope. Don't approach women at the bar. One time I had a chat with a girl and gave her my number. After. The next day, she was talking about how I was harassing her. She did all this to cover her cheating on her boyfriend. Thank God the bar had a camera. You really can't tell with these modern women. You really can't. And it's alarming. That's why men stay away. That's why men are not approaching. Why is he not allowing me to come and help on this project at work? Because you're a problem. That's why. Why is he not allowing me to come over here and help him do this? Because you're a problem. How come he's not approaching? Because you're a problem. How come he won't come up and talk to me? I've been giving him the eyes. That's a signal. How come he ain't approaching me? Because you're a problem. Dude in the comments said, no, it's because talking to women now is hazardous. Be safe.
Serious question for my mans out there. Why are you guys not approaching women? What is that about? What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, we have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you gonna come approach me? Hello, I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, you know, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something, say hello. So if you're a man out there, you know, you guys have balls for a reason. Use them. And don't be afraid to approach women, because we don't want to do that, you know? This is just a pro tip, okay? Chime in.
So yesterday I had very weird encounters at work. Let's do a story time real fast. Oh, there's this random, well, first of all, there's like good like 3 different families like ringing up their stuff, and it's like self-checkout, so I'm supposed to observe. Sometimes I help out if like, you know, if it's only one person and there's no one else there, to where I have to like keep like eyeing them down, see what they're scanning and stuff. So keep that in mind. And I see there's 2 more families in line. I was like, hey, like you can come over here. And then I'm just like kind of like leaning back on one of the registers, because I'm watching this side in front of me, right? And this guy goes, ¿qué traes? And I was just like, well, my brain's not processing, like my brain's somewhere else. I'm thinking like work mode. I'm not thinking anything else. Sometimes, I don't know, I just don't process. And then I was like, huh? And I was like, what is he saying? Like, is he speaking another language? Am I like hallucinating? Proceeds to say, ¿qué traes? And I was like, words aren't wording here. I don't know. And I was like, ¿cómo que qué traigo? And he's like, sí, ¿qué traes? Te ves muy triste. And he was triste. He was telling me that I looked sad. And then I was like, oh shoot, like, do I look sad? So my face immediately changed to like, do I look sad? Like, why are you calling me out? Like, maybe you shouldn't be calling me out, because maybe I do feel sad. Maybe like I've just been crying for no reason, kind of sad. So I was kind of like, bro, don't ask me right now. Like in my head, I was like, please don't ask me. Why would you put me in the spot? And then he goes, are you okay? Like, are you sure you're okay? And I was like, yeah, like I'm fine. But like, I'm saying this as I'm walking away, because now I'm trying to help another lady and asking her if she's her cash or card, so I could like turn on another register for her or something, you know? And then he's still trying to like talk to him. He's like, you should smile more, like you know, like it'll help you, like, or saying like you should just smile more, like a smile looks better, blah blah blah, like don't be sad. And he's like, what's going on? Like, is there something going on? Like, do you want to talk about it? And I was just like, when he said like you should smile more, I just like, and like I told the lady I could help her in the front because she was gonna pay with cash. Like I went to the very big register in the front, and then I'm still ringing stuff up. And by here he's like this way, like where to, if you were like him, like you would be here, like on another register, and I could see you from this angle. So then like it would make, you know what I mean? So I'm over here like ringing stuff up, over here like computer, you know, blah blah blah, ding ding. And this lady's like yapping about how much is it, how much is that one, can you give me another bag, da 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 da. And I'm like just like talking to her, but I kind of see him from my peripheral view, like I see he like kind of is trying to grab my attention, and I was like, what does he want now, you know? That was my thought, what does he want now? So I kind of like, lady's right here to me and he's like back there, so I look like this, and then he's like, and I was like, huh, what's he saying? I didn't really pay too much attention, because again, I'm ringing her stuff up, like we're not doing this. So then I kind of just like whatever him, and I'm still ringing stuff up because she's telling me if I could give her another bag, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna give you another bag, like do you want this in the bag? And then she's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm still ringing up, and then I see he's still trying to, like, he's ringing stuff up himself, and he's trying to tell me something. So I look again, and then he's like, and I was like, huh? And then I went, oh. And I'm like ringing stuff up, and I'm like, and I'm staring at him, and the lady, I can see she's like turning, like, who are you talking to, what are you saying, kind of vibe. And then he's still like, so he was telling me if he could get my number, and I was like, I'm going like this. And he goes, please, can I get your number? And I'm like, no, like, get the hint. I said no one time. I said no the second time. Don't think the third time. Like, okay. And by this point, okay, because keep in mind, before he even asked for my number, okay, let's put this out there. Before he even asked for my number, I was processing, and I was like, oh, like, he's so sweet. Like, I was actually having a hard day. Today was okay. Yesterday was crappy, you know, like, today's better. Like, I'm chilling now, but thanks for asking. Maybe I still have the sadness phase, because I tend to that just happens to me. Like, if I have one sad day, like, it'll reach on for like 2 days, and then I'm like chilling again, you know? I don't know, that's just me. But he's like, it's like, okay, I thought it was sweet. I was thinking like, you know, very sweet of you to have asked, like, thanks for asking, but then now you're asking for my number, and I'm like, okay, you're a piece of caca, because you literally have a daughter with you. You're whispering to me because you have your daughter with you. Bro, have some respect for your daughter. Don't, just men. It's just men. Men are so man-coded. Like, what other way can I word this, right? Men are so man-coded. Like, I'm at work. What makes you think I'm gonna say yes to handing you my number? Like, you could have, like, first of all, I'm gonna say no regardless, because I have a boyfriend, and two, I wouldn't have been interested in you even if I didn't have my boyfriend. Like, let me keep that clear, because I know a lot of you are like, oh, just because you have, no, he had no chance regardless. But I'm not trying to toot my own horn, you know, because then you guys can go and say weird stuff. But it's just like, at first I thought he was just being a sweet dad, because I saw he had his daughter, and he looks like he's young. He looks like he's like 25, maybe like to like 30s. He max 30s, but I don't think he's 30. I think he's like 25, 27ish. So I'm thinking like, oh, he's just being a sweet dad. He's worried about me. I probably look like 16 to him, like, because that's usually what everyone thinks. And then this interaction happens. And this is why I go to my other thing where I'm going to talk about how men, like, let me help y'all out. And when you want to approach a girl, please make sure you approach her the proper way. You don't scare away. You don't come out creepy. You don't do weird extra stuff. Like, it's just so unnecessary. And if you want to approach a girl at her work, like, you have to come and talk to her like 2-3 times good for her to like say yes, okay? And I'm not talking about me. I'm just saying if I were single, like, that would be the, I think that would be the more approachable way. Like, oh, hey, I coincidentally saw you again, you know? But again, he never had a chance though. But you girls, I think, what do you guys think? Like, that would be the proper way, no? Like, for them to like come into your store, coincidentally bump into you, and then, you know, be nice, have a good flow conversation. And then it's like, okay, well, you now for sure the third time are gonna have the okay to get their number. After the third time, I think so, like, they will say yeah, for sure. Personally, no, not me, obviously, because I'm in a relationship. But I was in awe because I was like, really, bro? You just ruined this entire interaction for me. Like, your daughter's right there, your daughter. And she was staring at me like, why are you talking to my dad kind of vibe? And I was like, I'm not really talking to him kind of vibe, because trust me, I'm just doing my job here. And his daughter was so adorable. She liked her little curls and stuff. And man, seriously, man, like, please. And imagine, like, he actually has a wife still. Like, that's what I was thinking about. Like, oh my gosh, how... I'm not the first person he's done this to. I'm 100% sure. I told my boyfriend that he for sure, like, his daughter is going to grow up to not be very fond of her own dad. And he's going to be in those TikTok comment sections. She's going to be saying, like, yeah, my dad was a piece of shit. He thought that. I never even noticed that he would get at girls at random, like, parts, and I would always know, because little girls are very observant. Anyways, this is my story time.
What does his daughter have to do with anything? Like, what does she have to do with anything? Why? Because his daughter's there, can he not try to talk to you? I don't understand that. Number one. Number two, he was trying to be nice. I mean, I feel like I could have seen that it was a setup for him to ask for your number. He came and really, honestly and truly, I don't think that he did anything that was terrible. Instead of saying, oh, you're really pretty, this, and this, he recognized that maybe you might have been sad. He said, hey, what's going on? How you feeling? Are you okay? Well, you don't ask people that. I don't ask people if they're feeling okay. Are you good? Are you... Once again, they keep on saying that men don't know how to read emotions. They don't know how to read a woman's body language. But the man accurately read what you were going through. And he said, hey, he said, yeah, I could have been this, and that. Okay, well, let me see if there's anything wrong. Hey, you know, I think, you know, you might be a good person. I think maybe you should smile a little bit more. It'll brighten up your day. Yeah. There's actually a song about that. Nat King Cole, I think, actually sings one of those songs. Or, you know, it's just an old song that people sing. Smile. Smile. Y'all are getting offended for people saying, why you look so angry? Why are you so upset? Smile. Like, don't be so sad. You don't have any reason to be sad. Like, you're beautiful. I think, hey, man, you mind if I get your number? But you on here talking about him like, well, he didn't have a chance with me anyway. Be quiet. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. This type of stuff that you got, why, man, like that? Just be quiet, man. All you had to say was, no, I'm good. I appreciate it. I was just deep in thought. I'm at work. I'm trying to make sure this is, but thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. Hey, man, you mind if I get your number? No, I have a boyfriend. I really do have a boyfriend. But, you know, like I said, thank you. You're so sweet for checking in on me. Done. That's it. But you get in here and go on a rant about a man just being normal. You guys really do have like loser mentality.